I don't like Zendaya's character.
I don't either. I thought it was very like.
Yeah.
What about her?
She's just so.
Like everything.
She's such. What's the word?
It's like a pessimistic.
No, that's not what I was thinking. Okay. So this year saw 2 new releases for the Dune franchise. So Dune Part 2 came out in March, beginning of this year, and then Dune Prophecy, which is the TV series, new on HBO Max.
So no one's seen, right?
No.
Have
Yeah,
not.
I think. Like
I know you have no desire to watch it.
We'll find out.
So with those new releases, we're going to kind of go through and do a fun little review of what we each think of the Dune movies so far. We'll go 60 seconds a person. Give us your initial thoughts.
Did you read the show?
Go with a rating out of 5 stars.
Like, we're talking about Dune as a whole, part 1 and part 2.
Yes.
If you want.
But you just said a rating, so you want to give Dune part 1 a rating, Dune part 2?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
Give us your thoughts.
Out of 5 stars, my rating for Dune is actually pretty high. It's a 4. The reason I chose a 4 is because, well, I saw it in IMAX, and I think that played a huge role into it. We can get into that a different time, but the movie cinematically was pretty awesome. Just all the shots in the whole movie were crazy. The setting in the entire movie, the settings in the entire movie were pretty cool. So that's why I give it a 4. Good acting, good actors.
I don't think sci-fi is my thing. I, across both movies, would give the Dune Part 1 and Part 2. What?
Go ahead.
I would give it a 2.5 in my book. It's like halfway there. The only reason it's getting stars is because cinematically it's pretty cool. I do think I would have had a much different appreciation for it if I would have seen it in theaters. I watched both of them in a hotel room, and the way it scored, at 1 minute I'm listening to some people whispering about spice, and the next minute my whole hotel room is shaking because of the audio. So that kind of nerfed the whole thing for me. I also don't like Timothée Chalamet, and I think they make Jason Momoa look like kind of a flam. So
What if he is a flam?
he might be. I don't know, but it came out in this movie.
That's your time.
Time.
Are you ready? Okay. Ready, set. There's your time.
Honestly, my rating, I'd probably say a 4 too. Yeah, unlike Kingston, I actually do love sci-fi. It was great cinematically, and it's just like, I obviously didn't read the books. It's just like good ideas, even though they weren't the movie's ideas. It's just a cool concept of, because we all rely on certain things in our life, and there's different things for the different people that they're like fighting for, I guess. So I don't know. I like the reasoning behind the story, and I feel like it's a pretty good storyline too. There's a lot of aspects to it. You can stop it.
That was almost
pretty
right on.
close.
Yeah. I think together they're 4.5 out of 5. Really, really solid movies. Loved the characters, loved the story. Some people will say it feels the same as all other sci-fi, but I felt like it was very just a new vibe. I don't think the Star Wars is like kind of like the benchmark, especially for our generation as far as sci-fi goes. They're just the biggest, and I think cinematically Dune is a way better experience. Kenyon mentioned the IMAX experience, and I would agree with that. Like, just being engaged in the movie that way is really fun, and Dune definitely right up there with the top movies as far as the cinematic experience. So 4.5.
2.5.
2.5.
Halfway there.
Well, you say sci-fi is not your thing. Like, no, like you haven't really felt strongly about any sci-fi movies?
Like, I don't think you can name a sci-fi movie.
Okay, ready? I can name one
Go
that you
for
really
one.
like.
Okay, ready?
Interstellar.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Yeah.
Right there.
But that's like
That
I
more
guess
than
that is
anything is just
sci-fi.
like a cool story.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's more like
Uses-
just like a theoretical.
Yeah, it uses like
expansion of-
sci-fi elements.
But it's
to-
also very like, because you have the dust. That's a problem. Like, you're still grounded on Earth.
Yeah.
So it's very much. Whereas this is like
future.
you're future and outer space. Like, you're out there. You have giant worms flying through a sand planet.
Dune 2 had a lot of different elements. There were like one of the funniest comedic elements of the movie is like watching how the culture, there's like two split factions in the Fremen, and the OGs are like, they believe in the prophecies and everything, and then the younger generation are just think it's the tradition, old traditions that don't mean anything. And so every time Paul Atreides does something that lives up and fulfills the prophecy, the OGs are like Muad'Dib, what do they say? Lisan al-Gaib. It's as it was written, and the younger kids are like, so like that added a comedic flair. And then also Paul and what's her name? Zendaya.
Shite.
Shit. Oh yeah, Chani. Is it Shani or Chani? So relative to the movies that were released in that year, Dune was 2021, and they were ranked 13th box office wise.
Really?
Yeah. So
Really?
yeah,
What else was that year?
So the number one movie for the box office ratings was Spider-Man: No Way Home, Shang-Chi, and The Legend of the Ten Rings.
What?
It's just Marvel.
Venom.
It's just Marvel movie.
Oh my
Venom.
gosh.
Black
Let
Widow.
There Be Carnage or
The Let There Be Carnage. Black Widow, F9, Eternals.
That movie was horrible.
What?
I don't really believe.
What is a
this
box
list.
office rating?
Sorry, it's the
Wait.
money. The
amount of money
the
is
gross.
Wasn't Dune released like
Late in
December
2021?
2021?
Oh, it was.
You should look at it. It's just gross. It's gross box office. Hey, good call, dude.
How did you know?
October 2021.
Christmas?
And so the budget was 165 million. And worldwide they grossed 430 million.
That's actually not a bad budget.
Yeah.
I thought we would be way more than that.
And then Doom Part 2 is 190 mil. And worldwide they brought in 709 million.
Damn.
So that was
That's bang for your
2021. And for 2024,
CGI is expensive.
2024 is obviously not over yet, but they're ranked fourth behind Inside Out 2, and then Deadpool and Wolverine, and Despicable Me 4.
Despicable Me 4's number one.
Number 3.
Number 3. Oh.
So Inside Out 2 is number 1.
Oh, number 1.
Then Deadpool
Gotcha.
and Wolverine,
Dang.
Despicable Me 4, and then Dune Part 2.
Animated movie.
Yeah, it's crazy. Inside Out 2, worldwide, 1.6
That's because when you
billion.
take
With a B.
that's because you take the whole family to that, so you're paying for 7 tickets. Whereas when you go watch Dune or
That's
Deadpool,
true.
it's 2 people. Yeah.
Yeah, but Deadpool is still 1.3 billion.
Highest grossing rated R movie of all time.
Really?
Yeah. Was there anything that you guys didn't like
Yeah.
about Dune?
Let's get into it.
I didn't appreciate. I really started liking the movies when I started looking into it. I hadn't read the books before, and so when I watched the movies, I was enthralled by the cinematic elements of it, and like the story was intriguing. But for example, the Bene Gesserit and the voice, like I had no idea. There's a scene when Paul walks in to speak with the lady, the Bene Gesserit. I don't remember what her name is, but he puts his hand in the box.
Yeah, that's like at the very beginning.
And then she has the needle, and you're just like, well, what the heck is going on? What's this relationship? What
That
is
was one of
he
the
doing?
times my hotel room started shaking. It got really loud.
You didn't understand that part?
I could, like, you can kind of tell
Context
what's
clues.
going, but what is his relationship to the lady?
Well, at the same time, he didn't really know what was going on.
He didn't, and his mom obviously has some type of weird relationship with the lady.
See, and that's when that scene is when I was like, oh, his mom is related to the whole empire. Like, I was like, I didn't know what the relationship
I do not
was.
get how you
But I was like,
freaking
she's
put that
related. I was like,
together.
this is so weird because she clearly is way more entangled with the big people than the dad is.
Yeah.
Because the dad's just kind of like distant.
Oh,
the whole
you're
time
talking
until he dies.
Are you talking about specifically like the Bene Gesserit, like the overarching ruling house, or are you talking about
talking
the
about
Baron?
I'm talking about the Baron. I knew that basically the leads of every family were connected except for the dad. The dad was the only person who did not act like all the other leadership throughout the whole movie. Yeah. I knew she was. I thought they would be brother sister, the Baron and the mom. That's what I thought. I didn't call that it was his daughter.
Remind me, it's her dad, right?
Her dad, yeah. And it was
I
like
wasn't
very
expecting
clear
that
that
either.
he had like some kind of magical properties, and then so did she. So I was like, okay, they have to be interconnected in some way.
That's one part of the movie I did not like was him floating around.
Dude, he was.
The second movie, I was like, it was so dark. Like every time I went
second
to
one
their
was
side, I
really
was like, whoa, this is crazy. But it really made you play into, I don't know, those emotions of what's the nephew's name? Oldie.
Yeah, Austin Butler.
Austin Butler. Whatever his name is. I actually ended up really liking his character, even though he was real dark and evil. But I was like,
That's what I was gonna say. I thought he was
Fade Rotha.
yeah.
He was the sickest. Once he was introduced, I was like, oh, okay, this is
definitely-
picking up steam. Like
he
he picked up the
definitely
pace of the
has
movie like crazy.
Some of the best acting in the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
Hated the House Harkonnen. Oh, it's just so.
Which I mean,
so
you're supposed
dark.
to, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to.
That's
be
what I'm
like-
saying. They did really good job at making you like.
Which is
ugh.
another thing
these
that I
people.
think it makes a good movie is when you can actually like feel something, whether those are good.
They
feelings
give you an
or bad
emotional
feelings.
connection, not
Yeah.
just like.
Because then when the Fremen came on screen and like the battle thing, I was like, oh shoot, I was going crazy. Made me like super into it.
You said your critique of the romantic element of Dune is that it was for naught in the end.
Yeah.
From my perspective, I'm Florence Pugh all day.
Okay, true. That we were talking about that before you got here.
Oh, really?
But
So,
it's like
like-
she's literally like she has like 77 seconds of screen time, and in
Which
the end it's like
is a bummer.
we're gonna get married. I'm like, oh, and Zendaya
But
just
I
like
think
creeps
like
back
the
in the
small
shadows.
time that she was on the screen,
We're
I feel like it's hinting towards her being more of like a what's the word
Just
like
a chess piece.
but like her personality. I feel like she starts to like
just a political player.
she's observant of what's happening, and she's not to the point where she's doubtful and like questioning, is this the right thing? But I feel like it's hinting towards maybe she becomes an integral part in the force for good.
Well, we were watching a video before, and they said that most of the book relates to her diaries.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So like she plays a big part.
Which she does, like in the scene where she's introduced.
She has
she's
whole
narrating-
monologues
she's
in the
narrating,
books,
yeah.
in the-
She's
in the old
narrating
movie.
it.
No way.
Yeah.
Have you seen scenes from the old movie?
Yes. I watched
So,
the
you
whole
know-
old
you know
movie
when
with
they,
mom.
like-
I watched the whole old movie with mom and dad.
Isn't there
Original
so
movie.
like I saw a clip where in the newer movies the shields are dope. They're like
You
like
barely
shimmer
see
on,
it.
you barely see it.
It's like
In the
Halo.
old ones, it's like they're like in a cardboard box. It's
You
so
know,
bad.
You know when you pull up even our cameras look better, but you know when it focuses on someone, there's a box
Yeah,
around them.
yeah.
It's like that, but you can't see the
Yeah.
person through the box. And so on the screen, there's like 3 boxes,
So
and you're like,
funny.
what is happening in this movie?
Anyways, I think that like it's gonna be interesting to see Florence Pugh's character, how that plays out. To go along more with what you didn't like about the movie. I don't like Zendaya's character.
I don't either. I thought it was very like.
Yeah.
What about her?
She's just
like
so
everything.
She's such what's the word?
It's like a pessimistic.
Nah, that's not what I was thinking.
It's like she's
She's
trying to act
such
hard.
I think that's what it is. I think it's very much like
she's like so critical of
she's like
everybody.
trying to push herself into the hero role the entire time. Like
And she's so annoyed by everyone, and
Now let's hear your opinion, Kingston, on the little sister talking.
dude, that was the creepiest part to me.
it's
dude.
pretty
is-
The
creepy.
fetus.
Every time that was a thing, pretty much any scene the mom was in, I was like,
It made me feel a little
it's
off
just
at
like,
first.
It made me
too.
feel like weird, dude. It's just like when he's like, your sister wants to know why, and it's like, I'm like, freaking weird, dude.
Well, yeah, because like you talk to your kids when they're in their mom's stomach,
But they don't
you're
talk
like,
back. They don't have full form sentences and opinions about stuff. I'm just like, what the heck?
So I watched it when it first came out in theaters. It's been a long time, but if I remember, Paul eventually just assumes the role of Messiah, of Lisan al-Gaib, or what the Mahdi or whatever.
How do you feel about like how that was like planted into their
So that's the crazy.
That
thing
was
is
the part of
I-
the plot that I actually did enjoy.
I
Was
feel
that
like it got me like actually questioning
religion?
religion,
As a whole.
government,
Yep.
everything, because I feel like the overarching theme of the book and the story. I won't say the book because I haven't read the book, but the story as it's told through the movie. Number one, like money will rule everything forever. Like the spice that the Harkonnens were just, like trying so hard to keep. But then number 2, it seems like from what I've understood, this religion was planted into the Fremen for generations and centuries, so that they could, like the Bene Gesserit could control the minds of the people.
Because they keep their hope, but the thing is, what they think is coming is never going to come because it's a fabricated story.
Yeah.
So you keep these people who have hope, but also are hopeless because they don't think they can do anything about their situation until the savior comes. Yeah. So they just sit and wait and wait.
So I think Paul was literally created to become that person, right? That's like, as far as the prophecy goes, all the stories are coming and Paul's matching everything and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's Mahdi or whatever they call him. But I don't think Paul's actually being cocky or like assuming. I don't believe I think he doesn't believe in the prophecies. I think he knows he has the ability to use the voice to, like, he has the DNA and the bloodline of the Bene Gesserit in him, so he has like special powers. But he's manipulating the people as well, because he knows the only way that he's gonna have the backing of the Fremen to fight
if he plays into
it is if he plays them into fighting for him.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty clear.
And so like when he drinks the worm piss or whatever it is, he
knows that he's gonna make it out.
He knows already.
He knows.
Like the prophecy is like someone's gonna be able to drink it and survive, but he knows how to like breathe slow to make it look like he's dead and then come back. So the whole plot, I think he's just playing into that role so he can have the Fremen on his side. Yeah. But from Chani, it looks like he's manipulating. His ego. His ego has grown, and
because I think that's the thing is he was sculpted. His whole character was sculpted by the mom and the Bene Gesserit, but politically and just his values were given to him by his father,
which is my favorite character in the whole movie.
Yeah, I would agree.
Leto is such a boss. And there's another side note. I typically really like when cool characters in the story die
pretty quick.
Conclusion.
Yeah.
What is it? Conclusion?
It's a
closure.
Yeah.
Conclusion.
There's a conclusion.
My favorite Star Wars movie is
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
I was telling them that the other day.
There's just closure on everyone's story.
Because the story's over.
Yeah.
You're like, the story goes on, but at the same time, you're like, I'm at peace with every storyline that happened in this movie. Maybe
that's like my dark side revealed, and like the only way you get closure is if you die. But Duke Leto died, hated that. Duncan Idaho died, hated that.
Duncan Idaho.
The what's his name? The Asian butler that backstabbed them and then wanted his wife to be released. He got murked.
He backstabbed them for a good reason.
Yeah,
it's valid.
Yeah, valid. But like all these people are dying, and I was like, freak. Like I wanted Duncan Idaho to come back because I felt like he was gonna be.
I thought he would.
But we've been trained to believe that now because Marvel's just like, oh yeah, guess what? He's back. He's gonna keep going.
That's true. But it sucks. Like Duncan seemed like he was gonna be the number one guy to help Paul navigate everything,
and that's why he had to be gone.
It's true.
So
Harkonnen.
You know what? Maybe I actually like this movie way more than I thought I did.
I truly do think you would have had a different experience in it.
I think
it was like it was insane.
But literally,
the fact that you watched that in a Spring Hill Suites on a 28-inch.
It was probably
visiuals,
like a 52-inch TV. I see why people like it, but at the time for me, there was just no emotional like, hey, that's really cool. So I get it. I get the appeal. It looked phenomenal. I'm sure it sounded phenomenal in the theaters. And then it's the same reason why I haven't watched the Top Gun movies is because I can't stand the lead actor.
And Miles Teller?
No.
That's the lead actor in my eyes.
We talked about positives.
Okay, wait. You did 2.5.
Wait, yeah. Are you wrapping this up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Has your opinion changed?
Yeah.
I'll probably go to a 3.
Yeah.
Go to 3,
3.5,
and then watch it in an actual movie theater if that chance ever comes up again, or if someone has a really nice theater.
Should we go around?
I mean, they're showing the Twilight movies again. next month.
Talk about fire movies. Holy crap.
Actually,
The Twilight?
I've tried
Seriously?
I've tried to watch them so many times.
What do you mean you've tried to watch? You just get distracted, or
They're so
something happens?
bad.
Emergencies? Do you have to go to like the ER or something?
Pretty much. Like,
Holy cow.
I'm too tired.
You
to
die
watch
of
them.
boredom.
Horrible movies.
Well, I just like.
Wait, really?
I've started the first
wait,
one so
really?
many
You
times.
really?
Guys, they're phenomenal.
I just finished watching. Get this. So
Okay,
every
we should
single
wrap
Star,
this.
every single Star Wars movie,
Yeah.
and then I think it was a total of 6 or 7 TV seasons, like series seasons, with all the movies on top of each other in timeline order.
Clone
That-
Wars?
No, so Clone Wars, the guy who referred me to, he's like a Star Wars fanatic. He said watch these specific seasons in Clone Wars
Oh.
for it to make sense. Some of them it's a little too much, and I did. And I was like shocked. I actually like Star Wars is freaking dope. The whole world is cool.
Yeah.
But that's side note. Take this all out
Well,
of
and
the
I think that's
episode.
the other thing is that has to do with Dune is it's probably way better if you get any of the lore of the world outside of what's happening.
Which is what they're starting to do. The
Yeah,
prophecy and the Messiah. Hopefully more.
Maybe it'll all come together and I'll have a 4-star rating after.
That's what sci-fi does.
If you like this, check out our other movie reviews that we have on the channel and give us some more suggestions. What movies you want to hear about. Watch movies along with us and give us your ratings or your feedback in the comments. Like this guy on fire for having such a terrible rating on the movie.
This is valid.
Hey, we got it up. We got it up. We got it up.
We'll
to
get
3. We
there.
got it up to
I think I
3.
justified it pretty well.
Catch us back next time on some more movie reviews.
Let us know.
Peace.